Participation equals?
Value.
Oh, can I have that with my talk today and everyone's talk? Yes? Okay. So with that, I'd like to ask, can you tell the person beside you and say, you are amazing? Alright, thank you so much. Okay, so, my talk is Stop Cooking Your Kids' Brains. And that's the title also of my book. But before that, I'd like to... Yan. This is me. I'm Dr. Pinky De Leon Intal. For those of you who have seen my talk last year, and for those of you who are new, I'm a doctor. I'm into preventive and lifestyle and culinary medicine. So I'm also the founder of Preventive Medicine Philippines. Okay, so they say prevention is better than cure. Do you believe that? Yes? Okay. Do you know that before I found Preventive Medicine Philippines, I also believe that. But it's just a cliche for me. Okay? Most of our clients, they say they believe it, but do you think they really believe that? No, right? So for me, I also have my share of problems or medical problems before. Okay. Yeah. Can I tell my story? So, previously I have hyperacidity, I have allergic rhinitis, I have mouth sores, and those are the things that I have. And I realized that it's okay. Since I'm also a doctor, who's like most of the doctors that you know, if you have a headache, we will just give you pills, right? If you have hypertension, we give you pills. That's who I am. But until I met our amazing water. Okay, through that water, our Kangen water, I was able to solve all of those problems. And my family too. So from there, I really felt amazing. Okay, how many of you felt amazing with your water? Raise your hand. Alright. But that actually happened. So from being a prescription writing doctor, that made me realize if this water can do that to my family, what if I do more? What if I change my food, change my entire lifestyle, and change everything that will make me healthy? So from there, I studied more. I became a person and a doctor who prevents diseases at the root cause. So they say, change your water, change your life. For me, change your water, change my career. Right? From a prescription writing doctor to a person or doctor that prevents diseases. And how many of you would love to have doctors like that? Raise your hand. Okay, so thank you for that. So that's my story. But after that, even though there's one mystery in my family, even though we have, I already changed our water, our lifestyle, our food, our exercise, there's one symptom that my family has, especially my husband. Actually, my entire family is here. Say hi. Okay. My husband, not his picture. But yes, he's actually a graphic designer. So he's been exposed in cell phones, laptop, 10 to 12 hours a day. So you can just imagine what kind of headache he's having. So even though we changed everything, that symptom still exists until we got our own M-Guard. When we used the M-Guard, in few days' time, his headache was completely gone. Right? So that made me realize that, oh, maybe this is something that I have to look into more. Okay? So I did my research. I searched for everything that I want to know about this EMF and why does it look great. And I realized that this is a piece of the missing puzzle of our health journey. It's something that I missed. And then I realized this MGuard was able to fulfill that. Okay? Of all the research that I did, okay, all the research I did, I realized that I need to share to the world, right? I cannot keep it to myself, right? That's the reason why I wrote this book. Stop cooking your kids' brains and yours too. Why? Because I'm a parent. And how many of you here are parents who have kids who love their family so much? Okay? The reason why I wrote this book is firstly, I would like to help myself to be able to explain it better and also for my downlines, right? To be able to help them. So, but since I want to share it to the world, I did what's really a big step for me. I self-published this book. Just for all of you guys. Because I told myself, it's crime not to share. Can you say it with me again? It's crime not to share. Alright, so, very good at this right now. Good job. So, this is my talk. Stop cooking your kids' brains. So, are you ready to know more? Can you tell your seatmate, I was born ready? Alright. So, I'd like to start with this slide. Okay. So, do you know that our Earth, the cosmos, and everything in our space, in our environment, we already have a natural EMF, or natural electromagnetic field. It's natural. Okay? But according to study, in 2007, in the European cooperation and the European study, they found out that EMF levels from its natural level rose up to 3,000% compared to 1997. Okay, can you say it with me? 3,000. Is that high? Do you know more latest study? 2014, Dr. Ole Johansson from Sweden found out the background levels of EMS is already 1 quadrillion times more. Do you know how many zeros are that? I can't even, yeah, I have to check all my zeros. It's 15 zeros. It's 1 quadrillion. Can you say 1 quadrillion? So it's, and what year is it? Can you check? It's 2014. What year are we now? Can you just imagine? What do you think? Can you just imagine how scary is it right now? Right now we still have no latest on how much the background level right now. But you know, we are about 8 billion in population, right? Do you know what causes this? What causes this is cell phones is already 8 billion. Wireless transmitting device is also more than 20 billion. And actually, the ratio is 1:3.5 device. And this is expected to rise in 10 years' time to 1:8. Can you imagine that? That alone can really help you think, what is it in for my family in the next 10 years' time? Okay? Because it's all over, right? We all know this from the previous presentations. It's not just as in our cell phone, it's in our car, in every wireless transmitting device. Okay. And you have seen this also, right? With David's presentation. Okay, there are 2 types of radiation. I just like to give you a basic on it, the ionizing and non-ionizing. But I'd like to tell you something about ionizing first, okay? Ionizing, okay. Do you know that ionizing, for example, that's what we call the X-ray. How many of you here have heard your X-ray before? Everyone? Yes? Can you remember how you did your X-rays? Diba? Yeah. You have to go to that part and then they will give you position you and they'll take your hair up. And then what does the technician do? Hide, right? Can you say hide? Why? Why do you think they need to hide? Because it's dangerous, right? We know for a fact that it's dangerous, right? Can you say dangerous? We all know that. But do you know that 1920, this is Marie Curie, the one who discovered radium so that we can be able to do our X-ray. And this girl, is this amazing lady, she's the one who discovered it. Do you know how she handles radium? With her bare hands. And she put it, back please. Ayan. She put it actually in her pockets, in the table, because they didn't know it's dangerous, okay? And she actually died of aplastic anemia in 1930s because of radiation. And if you're going to go to her tomb right now, you can't go because it's still emitting radiation up to now. So that's ionizing radiation. Next, in 1920, still in 1920, this is what we call the radium girls. These radium girls are like factory workers who painted the clock of the clock to make it luminous, okay, using radium. And they actually suffered. They died, some got cancer, some had disfigurement, and they actually fought for this. And this is 1920s. So with this time, they're actually taking a look. Everyone is looking that maybe this ionizing radiation is bad. But even in 1940s, this one came up. Do you know what's this? No, right? This is a fluoroscope to check the shoe fitting of our kids for the shoe. This is 1940s and 50s. Imagine doing an X-ray for your kids' feet to make sure it fits. Do you like this for your kids? No? Can you say no? Right? So this is ridiculous for us now, right? But during that time, as you can see in their marketing material, it says, it's dangerous to have your child's shoes fitted any other way. That's what they do, right? So I'm just saying that ionizing radiation before was thought to be harmless. Okay? And we have to learn from history, right? Can you say this with me? Learn from history. Since ionizing radiation before was thought to be harmless, that's what we're seeing with the non-ionizing radiation. Correct? Okay, we all know the non-ionizing radiation is the one we are being protected by MGuard. And that's the one that we want to be protected because it's all over. We hold it in our hands, in our pockets, in our homes. Our children are using it, right? So, I would like you to meet this guy. Can you say, hi, Mr. Sam? Not Mr. Samsia. But do you know that Mr. Sam is a standard anthropometric man, stands for that. And this was the mannequin that was used in 1993 to check or to develop that we call the standard of safety in cell phones. The problem with Mr. Sam, he's a very big man. He's 6'2", okay? 6'2". Maybe I'm just like this. 100 kilos, weighs 100 kilos, and have 11 pounds head. So as you can see, he's big, right? And you're using that person to check the standard of safety for everyone. Do you think that would also check your own safety? No, especially me. And especially my kids, right? Especially the little ones. I'd like you to show a video, the next video. This is the voice of Dr. Deborah Davis from the book Disconnect, the Truth About Cell Phone Radiation and What the Industry is Hiding It. So this is a video wherein they check how much radiation goes to the brain in a 6-minute call. Say 6 minutes. Alright, can we play this?
Into creating this, and here is what it looks like after a period of 6 minutes. That's really not as bad as it might look, because you see the red area only gets partway through the eye of the adult, right? The one that we're really concerned about is this one with the young child. And this is a 3-year-old brain that we modeled. And you see that by the end of that 6-minute call, the peak radiation, yellow and red, is getting all the way into almost both eyes.
Can you see that? My question to you, how many minutes is this? 6 minutes. How many minutes are our children spending right now with their laptops, iPod? Is it minutes? No. Hours. How many hours? 6. We have 6. 8. 10. Oh no. This is 6 minutes. Remember? And we are exposing our children to that. Okay? Okay, so this is a 2D model that they use. As you can see, this is a 5-year-old child. The radiation is there and the adult. As much as we can see here, in the adults, there's also an effect. But the effect to our little children are bigger, right? And that's what we don't want. Because there's actually, in American Academy of Pediatrics in 2012, they already wrote Congressman Kucinich that they actually demanding that the standards be updated. Why? Because our children have smaller brain, right? Smaller head, softer skull, and bigger in amount of fluid, so they have a more absorptive power when it comes to radiation. Okay? So with that, are you learning so far? Are you sure? Okay. So how does EMF actually affect us? Okay, in the previous presentation, Dr. Mag, you have seen this, right? Okay, you have seen this, that Dr. Magda has actually said that there's a renew formation, so there's a sticking of blood. So you have seen this. But I have also researched that it's not just the effect. Number 1, it can also cause DNA damage. Okay? DNA damage can lead to cancer. What else? Inflammatory response. There's a lot of diseases, autoimmune diseases. That's why there's a lot of diseases right now. Can you see? Okay? Especially autoimmune diseases. It can also disrupt signaling of the cells. Okay? The way the cells communicate with themselves is also affected. And it can also cause oxidative stress, right? So many free radicals. It can cause a lot of free radicals in our body. And again, it can cause cancer and so many other things, right? And lastly, it can also cause decrease in melatonin. How many of you has trouble sleeping? So, as you can see, there's a lot of things there. And you know, when I was browsing the internet and checking the vitamins for my kids, I saw this part where the vitamins for kids is melatonin for kids. Wow! I said to myself, oh, they have that already? It means they already have a market for that, right? It means our children are not sleeping. Do you know the implication of that? So big. Because sleep is very important to our body. It restores our body. It keeps our immune system well. If you can't sleep, try to sleep one day. not to sleep one day, right? And you cannot function well. And what if it is for a kids, right? It's more enormous effect, right? So, you have already seen the acute effects of EMF, okay? I bet most of you have all of this. But what are the long-term effects? David has already told you some of the long-term effects, and I will just show you part of my research. Can you say long-term? Long-term. Okay. Some of our clients would say, actually, this is very powerful. You can use this in your debating with your clients. Some would say, it's okay, I don't have headaches. Or some would say, it's okay, I can just drink a pill when I have a headache, it's okay. But I would always tell them, even if you don't feel anything, because some doesn't feel, right? Doesn't have headache. But even if you don't feel anything, what if there's a long-term effect that's lurking, right? Okay, let's see the long-term effect. What I saw is, first is the brain thinking and memory. Okay, next. So in this study, this is a study in medical, this is a study from Turkey, wherein they checked the thinking and memory of these rats, newborn rats. So what they did is they exposed the pregnant rats, okay, not the newborn. They exposed the pregnant rats to a 900 megahertz EMF exposure. Okay, so from there, they exposed it, and then when they gave birth, of course, this newborn, they tested the thinking and memory of this newborn. And what did they use to check the thinking and memory? They used mace. Okay? Do you know what's the result? Can you say what? Okay, the result was the exposed newborns took 3 times as long to find their way out of the maze and also made twice as many errors. So it means the thinking and the memory part of the brain was affected compared to the exposed and the control. Okay? They did a little bit more than this. They opened up the brains of these little baby rats. And they actually saw in the hippocampus area. And the hippocampus is the area of the brain where there's the thinking and memory. And they saw fewer cells. Okay? How many of you here would realize that this is very important? And how many of you here would think, these are just rats, right? I know this experiment are for rats, but do you think this could also happen to our little kids? Yes? Can you say yes if yes? Yes, right? And we don't want to subject them to these experiments, right? Just to know. And not just that, they also implicated EMF to Alzheimer's, neurologic diseases, and autism. Okay? So what about autism? So I dig more into the autism part because I'm really a fan of Netflix. And there's a lot of Netflix movie right now. They have seen a lot of theme revolving around autism, right? And do you know, it actually reflects what our society have right now. Do you know that, okay, in the year 2000, the ratio of autism is 1:150. Do you know how much is it right now? Last year, last year it's 1:36. Can you say 1:36? So the movies that we're seeing, which has the same theme, is actually a reflection of the society, right? What our society already has. Okay, next please. And as you can see, autism is rising. And also, it has the same graph as the rising radiation, EMF, wireless devices we have. Right? Yes. So, Not only that, there's a lot other things like tumors and cancers. Okay, next. As you can see in the, you have seen this. You have seen that EMF has been implicated to be possibly carcinogenic to humans, which is group 2B. You've seen that already in the presentation. Okay, but I want to share to a little bit about this, a story. Because in my slide about who I am, actually I'm also in the financial industry. I'm in the insurance industry for 15 years. And do you know what? I have 4 claims already in the insurance. 3 deaths and 1 major critical illness. And out of those 4, do you know, 2 out of 4 or 50% is because of glioma. That's high, right? That's high. So 2 of them, 1 is dead, 1 is actually has been diagnosed with glioma while pregnant, and they have to operate my client while and he is actually she is actually suffering, and yeah, it's so hard. As you can see, glioma is something we don't know, right? We don't know, but if it happened to us, it's something really devastating, right? Okay. Not just glioma, meningioma, and acoustic neuroma. And of all these 3, they actually found out that these tumors usually grow where you put your phone. Okay? If you're a right-handed person, this is where it grows. And if you're left, it just grows. So, okay, not only that, in our children, right now, the number 1 cause of cancer in children under 18 is brain cancer. Can you say brain cancer?
Brain cancer.
Before, it's not the top 1. Right now, it's been the top 1 in Australia and other Western countries. In some Asian countries, we still don't have statistics, but maybe it's just the same. Okay? So with that, these are different studies that you can see that actually tells us that glioma is rising. This is a Swedish study saying if you started using phone before the age of 20, you will have an increased risk of glioma in the side of the head where you hold your phone. Okay? Another studies for Scandinavian study, you have 5 times the risk of having brain cancer if you started as a child in using a phone. Next, please. Yeah, this is another study, and next. This Interphone study was actually the one that the lawyer was talking about. The Interphone study wherein if you use 1,640 hours or 10 years, you face 2 times the risk of having glioma. Okay? If you divide 1,640 to the number of hours you're using, this is not just 10 years. It could only just be months. Okay? Next, please. So there are other implications that I cannot be able to tell you everything. But it is implicated in childhood leukemia. It is also implicated in breast cancer. It is also implicated in even infertility. Because they found out heavy cell phone users, especially those who put their phone in their pockets, the sperm cells have a reduced sperm count. Okay? There's a lot more. Are you learning so far?
Yes.
Can you say to your friend beside you, I'm learning?
I'm learning.
Okay. Good. But this is a question that most of you has, right? Can you read this? Why are some people unaffected while others suffer? Do you have this question in your mind? How many of you have this question in your mind? How many of you think that your clients that you're introducing to MGuard have this question? I don't have. Why? I may not be affected. Why are some people are affected? Because we vary in sensitivity. Okay. Okay, next. Dr. David Carpenter actually said that we vary in sensitivity because, for example, one person can smoke 2 packets of cigarette a day for 20 years and does not have lung cancer. Are there cases like that? Yes. But some people might just smoke 5 cigarettes a week, but they have lung cancer, right? Because we vary, not just in exposure, but about our individual sensitivity. Can you say to your neighbor, it's not just about the exposure. It's about your sensitivity. So right now, if somebody tells you that, you have an answer now, right? Good. So, the most anti-radiation devices work. David already told you that. But next, I found this one in YouTube. You can search this. So the CNA Insider, they tested everything. They have this device that tested it. It doesn't work. And there actually research study in my book that I put there, all the resources that I have, that they didn't find any, it lacks scientific validation. Okay? So what do we do to protect our family? Before MGuard. Alright, first, time. If you can reduce the time, better. Especially for our little ones, right? They're not working. They're just playing. If you can decrease their time, that's good. Alright? Next, you can also distance. Okay? Better if you can do like that, not in your phone, right? Speaker phones, alright? Next, barrier. There are actually EMF barriers that they invented wherein it's like that. When you sleep, there's a metal in the barrier, okay, that you can use. So these are the things that you can use. And also, you can also eat fruits and vegetables that's high in antioxidant to help you the free radicals. And of course, to drink our because it has a lot of antioxidant, and one of the mechanism of EMF is increase free radicals in our body. Okay, another selling point. But how many of you here agrees with me that this is almost impossible? Right? This is almost impossible because if you are working and you're working as an IT or working in marketing, in computer, you cannot decrease the time, right? You can also decrease your income. Sadly, yes. Distance. You might don't want to others to know what you're talking about to somebody else, right? Okay? And also barrier. You cannot just walk around with that barrier with you. Right? Correct? So what can we do? Is there a better way? Can you ask me? Is there a better way? Actually, you know the answer. What's the answer? MGuard. You already know the answer. Okay. Okay. Previously, they say a lot, this is a fact. A lot of scientists and experts has been in chaos. Okay? Some say it's not, EMF is not harming you. Some say it's harming you. I'll be frank with you, they're actually in chaos. they are actually confused. Doctors like me are confused what to say. Okay? But I would like to invite you, I would like to ask you a question. Would you wait to have breast cancer? You wait to have leukemia? To have all those long-term diseases before you start protecting your loved ones and yourselves? Yes or no? We don't want to wait for that, though, right? So we have to start protecting our family. So I'd like to ask you, how many of you here still don't have their M guards at home? Raise your hand. Oh, there's a lot, huh? There's a lot. I'd like to invite you, for those of you who still has not have your M guards, after learning or listening from our talks here, you got two choices when you go home. First choice, go home without any protection. Okay? You still, with knowing everything that you know, go home and then expose your family. Would you like that? No. Or number two, you start protecting your family and own your M guards. Okay? Yes. I was privileged to talk to you last year here on Ocean M Guard Summit. And I received a lot of messages that when they went home in their country, they bought M guards, and they also bought more. For some who just have one, they bought more. So how many of you are learning so far? How many of you want to know more? Yeah, but unfortunately my time is limited. I don't have the whole day, but good news is I have my book there outside. If you would like to know everything that I told you about and more, and all the resources I have, it's in the book. You can use it. Okay, you can use it. It's a great marketing tool. Actually, I launched my book. Okay, this is the book. Okay, I launched this book right here in the M Guard Summit last October, and since then, my members and a lot of you here have been using it, and it's been generating a lot for them. Okay. Okay. Because a lot of challenges our distributors face is this. We have a lot of scientific evidence that are inconclusive, too much noise, we have public awareness, people are aware, and there's market saturation. With this book, you can be able to provide scientific evidences. It's full packed with all the resources that you need to educate and to give trust and credibility and to differentiate you with the market. Okay? It will open doors for you. Okay? You want that?
Yes.
If all the tools that we showed you, the budget, these tools would help you in the demonstration. You have to buy those things. But with this book, it will open up doors for you. Why? You can use it as a gift. You can use it as conversation starter. You can activate your team. You can open doors to a lot of presentations. Actually, we've been doing that right now with the book. And I have this slide. I gave this friend a book, and he said, I got my own M-Guard device as soon as I finished reading the book. You want that?
Yes.
And do you know this guy? He's not even my client. I gave the book, and this guys, I didn't know that he's actually a Kangen user, inactive Kangen user. So, learning that, he bought one from himself, and that's okay with me. And that's what we like, right? We want to educate, okay? And for some of you would say, some people doesn't read. You know this girl I met? That lady over there, a grandma. She said she got the M-Guard just by reading the title of the book. I just gave the book. It's still in plastic. And she gave me a check deposit. Right there and then. So, wow, amazing, right? You want that?
Yes.
Okay, so this book is available today there. Okay, it's available, but very limited slot. very limited books. So if you can avail, that's good, and also for your team. And how many of you guys learned so much about my talk today? How many of you would love to have the copy of my presentation? Oh, not so energetic. How many of you would like to have a copy? Okay, I like that better. So because you're really energetic, I love that. I'll be giving you a copy of my slides. This is this QR code, and this will also lead you to, if you want to purchase the book, it can lead you to the Amazon link. There's an Amazon, and there's also available in Kindle or ebook. And for those of you who want to have a bulk order, you can get up to 50% off of the book. And there you go. Thank you so much, everyone. Again, if you want to reach me out for the bulk copy of the book, you can message me. All right. Thank you so